Hi, my name is Chris and this is Battle Nonsense. Yesterday Nvidia released a new beta driver. This driver now includes an Battlefield Hardline SLI profile. So if you followed my small tutorial on how to enable SLI for the Hardline beta, you can now do the final step, which is to remove the Hardline application file from the Battlefield 4 profile. Normally the profile for Battlefield 4 gets reset when you install a new driver. But you never know for sure, so better do this manually. But much more interesting is the patch that was released today for the Hardline beta, as well as that everyone on PC is now able to get into the beta. Just head over to the registration page, link is in the description, and you can start to download and play the beta. So what did that patch do? Well, according to the changelog, it fixed a crash that could happen while you take a screenshot. It fixed several audio issues, including a crash. It fixed a rare server crash and added a poor networking connection notification icon. Okay, crashes are always bad and fixes are welcome. But that's not so interesting. The big change is the integration of the same netcode improvements as Battlefield 4 got. Yes, this means the high frequency update and the other changes isolated for Battlefield 4 and were deployed in the June patch. If you are now wondering what the hell a high frequency update is, just have a look at my Battlefield Netcode patch video, which explains this feature in detail. Now, after you've seen that video, let me confuse you even more. I'm just kidding. The high frequency update feature in Battlefield 4 is still generation 1. It is completely manual. You have to choose between high, medium, low and off by hand. And it is off per default, which means that a lot of players do not benefit from this feature, because they don't even know that it exists, they don't know which value to choose, because they didn't watch my video. As I said in my previous video, StyleLA is still working on making this feature automated, so that it adapts to your connection. This is generation 2, and that's what Hardline has got. So the values here are auto, on and off. Auto means that it adjusts the update rate on its own in the range between 30 and 10 updates per second. On means that it is set to 30 updates, which is the maximum, and off means 10 updates per second. Small reminder, this only changes at which rate you receive data from the server. It does not change how often your client sends data to the server. It is doing that 30 times per second and you cannot change that. To have that auto feature and that it is the default is really great, as it means that players now benefit from the high frequency updates without having them to change some config option. The bad news is that if you set it to auto, there is currently no way to find out at which rate it is actually running on. But this is going to be added as well, as StyleLA developers told us in the Battlefield 4 CTE when they announced that they are working on making this feature automated. So what's it like with that new patch? I've played 5 hours and at first I didn't notice any difference at all. Instantly died without any sign of a player even shooting at me, and the kill card showed that it was a shot in the leg. I fired 16 rounds on a player and he didn't take any damage at all. So the usual netcode crap. Then I looked into the scoreboard and what did I see there? I saw this. Players with more than 300 milliseconds, one even spiked above 400. These high pingers did not kill me once, but it seems that it was enough to have them on the server to freak out the netcode, or the server was suffering from degradation, I thought. Once I found a server where no players had a high ping, I started to get the experience I knew from the Battlefield 4 CTE, where the high frequency update was tested first. I then looked for servers with 300 milliseconds players again, and all the netcode issues were back. I tested this quite a few times again today. Servers where low ping players were on and then servers where we had high ping players on. It was clear that if you want a good experience, leave the server when you have such high ping players on them. In the Hardline beta, more than in Battlefield 4. As I said in my high ping players and high ping kick video, We really need more game server providers around the world so that players have low ping servers near them. And we need that inbuilt high ping kicker feature for the game servers, so that admins can provide their community with such a feature that is exposed in the server browser, so you can search for servers which have it active or exclude servers from your search results in case you know that you have a bad connection. So on servers where players had a decent ping, the experience was much better. There were still a few strange things happening, but nowhere near as frequently as before the patch, and on servers which have high ping players on them. But it's not on the same level as Battlefield 4 with the June patch, yet Hardline is still a beta, so I can forgive them that. They still have time to fix this, and I hope they do. If the netcode does not work, then you can simply forget your first-person shooter. With the netcode working, you can finally try to get a better understanding of the guns and find out what their balancing issues are right now. Trouble is finding servers in the beta where you don't have very high pingers on them. If you have not tried out the beta yet, you should give it a shot. If you tried it out and the netcode issues made you smash your keyboard, you might want to also have a look at it again with that patch. But look for servers where players have a low ping. So this netcode patch for the beta partly fixes one of the issues I talked about in my Hardline Beta opinion video. I say partly because this still does not fix the issue that Hardline does not overcome the 30 Hz limitation. This means that my conclusion about the beta and what I think about Hardline and what I think about pre-ordering are still the same as in that video. And that's also the end of today's video. If you want to reach me, you can do so by mail or Twitter. The links are in the description. If you like my content, please consider to hit the subscribe button, and I might see you next time. Until then, have a nice day and take care. My name is Chris, and this was Battle Nonsense.